Welcome back to Guyjin.Gaymes, everybody. We're here with our haggard heroes as they make their way through the Shadowfell.
Haggard heroes.
I do need to trim this thing.
I didn't say it. A
I did,
plane
for
of
sure.
desolation, bordering upon dark energies and death itself. Our 6 adventurers make their way deeper into the heart, towards a floating city, one of the last remaining remnants of Eladrin culture to exist anywhere in the plains, at least to their knowledge. They approach a dark grove, through which they make a narrow escape from some unseen pursuer, its prey being shadows and dark mastiffs, dogs made of shadow-like strands of energy. They didn't stick around to find out what was coming after them. Here, at a cavern entrance not far away, they discovered a ungainly sight of an outside tavern, a patio, kegs, food, and the whole 9 yards. But as soon as they explored further, the taste of cardboard accompanied the fake apples, and the whole scene disappeared in a puff. As the party thought better of sticking around to again find out what might be up behind these happenings, their guide, Winter Eladrin, disappears, being pulled deeper into the cave by some unseen force. The party now deliberates its next moves, as many of them could use a short rest. Kat, the drow sorceress accompanying them, seems to be on to something, but she's unsure of her conclusions, as she suggests that she goes on alone. If her hunch is right, she'll have a massive advantage, and if not, the rest of you should pursue her in about an hour. With this suggestion, Kavirik, the Runic Knight, chimes in. Yes, my dear, but I'm afraid you lack a certain physical presence, and being as resilient as I am, I would prefer to accompany you. What does the party think of the suggestion at hand?
Probably use a moment to rest and regain our some of our power before going into this cave.
Yeah, I think Firoth agrees that it would be a good idea to get all the advantage that we could. So if those two want to go off and get some extra information that'll help us further down the line, they should go scout and report back.
Good luck! Oh wait, I only have 3 fingers. Good luck!
Toe beans.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, how many fingers do cats have? I need to get a cat.
They have 4 and a thumb paw.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so while the party huddles up and seeks a short respite, Kavirik and Kat, Kavirik using his newfound powers, having been infused with similar shadow-like energy with his near-death experience previously, and Kat, being naturally inclined to such environments, make off into the cave.
As soon as they leave, I'm going to mention how I think one of them's the traitor that the dragon's looking for.
Quite possibly.
And I'm going to judge everyone's responses to that question, because I think maybe one of the people around me is the traitor.
You've made that quite clear, Shim.
Roll an insight check. Everyone else, roll a deception check. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it has escalated. Tornado warning until 7:30. Take shelter now in a basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. If you were outdoors in a mobile home or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
So this is what we're doing right now is what Oklahomans typically do when we get those types of warnings.
We don't stand out on the porch with a drink or a beer.
To go see if it looks cool, yeah.
Well, because I'm from Detroit, and I was like, fuck, I guess the session's over then.
Bear
Not
with me, everyone, while I check the weather. But I'll take a look at the radar. Another useful skill
would be kinda
you're
legit.
raised knowing how to do here in Oklahoma. In the meantime, Theros has really taken over this group. And the radar on the weather channel is blank. Awesome.
Is it because everything's a deep red, or is it just not working?
It's all white, which would actually mean everything's at the highest level of rain forecast, but
Well, all the magenta is to the east, so that looks nasty.
You guys got some weather down there to straight going to grayscale.
Yeah.
What is it?
We're luckily in the yellow right now, but...
Michigan gets covered in the pink stuff, the half snow, half rain around this time, and it sucks.
We surprisingly haven't gotten any snow yet. Usually Colorado's got snow by Halloween.
Alright.
Yeah, it is very.
Oh.
Looks like most of it has passed us already. But I can see where it is kind of rotating in the upper right-hand corner, so... Sorry, Owasa.
Yeah.
Okay. We will stick it out for now.
Yeah, it looks like we're in the green right now.
Yeah, it moves very quickly through here. Now OSU is telling me to do the same thing. Well, if power goes out, sorry everybody in advance. We
It's
shall
okay.
power
It's
through.
That storm's supposed to bring me snow flurries tomorrow. Oh boy.
Oh wow. Can anyone hear that in the background?
The nice thunder out there.
Yeah.
That's my neighbor's roof getting ripped off. Roll for initiative.
Roll to fight a tornado.
I've seen some weird videos of people doing things like playing video games during like. One guy played. I think he was famous for raiding in World of Warcraft during an earthquake.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Dedication, man.
Raid or die.
The sirens are gone. The threat has passed.
Here, there and back again by Bilbo Baggins. Alright, the result of the check has been proctored, and we are ready to proceed with your hour-long rest. Suspicion's a little high in the group.
No screams of terror or pain from the place that they gone. Howls, and because it's only been an hour, it might be, I don't know, they might be within earshot for at least for a little bit. Or dragon roars. Might be listening out for dragon roars.
You can see them sneak off into the distance a bit, but they quickly turn one way or the other and are out of sight. Your little furry ears catch nary a sound from the cave itself. However, your surroundings creak, groan, and there's a rock that falls down the cliff face in front of you. Something scurries behind you when you're looking at the rock, and then something scurries across the top of the cliff when you turn around to check the other sound. Make a perception check.
Oh man.
All of us, or just Shem?
Just Shib. 22! Out of the corner of your eye, and even in such difficult environs, you catch sight of a few shadows that seem to be animating on their own. No attached object or anything that would explain their presence. With your keen eyes, they look like flat vertical humanoids just kind of flitting out and around. The closest one is never closer than 90 feet away. They seem to be cautious and watching.
That wouldn't feel good. I always feel like you're being watched now. Do you guys see the shadows? They're watching us, man. Bushes.
Does anyone take this as more than mere paranoia?
I do. I look out at whatever he's looking at.
Yeah, I think Viroth probably would as well, just to make sure that there aren't any threats that we're not seeing.
Perception checks for the rest of the party. Let's see if anyone can get more than a 22.
Nope, that's a 9. That's with a +6 to my roll.
Oop. Adib catches a few hints of what Shimmy is talking about, but the rest of you just feel a slight sense of being watched, a little foreboding. Nothing in your immediate vicinity, though. Just the hairs on the back of your neck occasionally prickle.
I usually don't say this, but the sooner we get underground, I think the better.
Maybe we should just go ahead and proceed forward into the cave.
We can always turn around if we need to.
I hope so.
You imagine that this is very similar to the scene that Viroth had described earlier, with things kind of keeping to the edges, staying away from powerful adventurers, but nevertheless being ever present. Shimmy, make an investigation check now that conversation has gone on. 22.
Man, you really like those 22s today, don't you?
Bang bang, deuce deuce.
Much like skittish predators, such as other smaller feline, you doubt that these creatures would approach or attack unless the party was somehow incapacitated.
So it's not the actual realm itself of like the Shadowfell. They're actual creatures who probably found us or have been tracking us or sensing us. But
you imagine that this whole valley is awash with such beings.
Jeez.
And that even in a swarm, they'd be relatively weak based on your experiences in the past.
I'll look around and ask everyone if they see them, and I'm gonna wonder if they're like echoes of souls from the past or something, or those who have maybe died here or something.
Religion
Jimmy,
or
that's...
Arcana checks?
If you're asking me, definitely not. I wouldn't know anything about it.
No.
Look at that! Goodness gracious!
Goodness gracious.
18 for Viroth.
Shadows, as far as the proper shadows, the creature name of the undead, do propagate through slaying their victims. In a place such as this, that a deep can kind of see the intersections between death and shadow, they may be spontaneously animated as well. On the Prime, however, it would be rare to find one without it having been summoned or created through magic. Again, you kind of parse them as very low in the hierarchy of predatory creatures here, and while the plane is suffused with a dark energy, your guide has previously said, at least in her opinion, it's not evil, even if it's regularly associated as such. It wouldn't be odd to pass undead here and have them give you no mind.
I feel like we're on the Discovery Channel of like that herd of elephants or water buffalo, and there's like hyenas in the background just waiting for one of us to get like a limp leg or something.
Right. They would never try and take the elephants otherwise, but if you were a little baby, or if you were all gravely injured, perish the thought.
Best be quick to help each other out if we
don't get separated, that sort of thing. But
bleeding heavily or something.
In a group, and especially based on Adib's previous research, bearing any sort of light source, you feel fairly confident that you're safe to finish your rest. So, go ahead and hit that little button, top right corner of your character sheets. Short rest for the party. You are free to select party order and proceed.
I would like to go first.
I'll go last.
I'll go second. I'm fine with that.
Sounds good.
Okay. Everyone, you can kind of move your tokens around. The mouth of the cave does narrow, but you can see it's at least 2 abreast for the first section of the cavern.
I've got a green circle that follows me. I probably don't need that up anymore.
Let's see. What effect was that? I thought you had an aura. Is it not?
No, I don't think so. I didn't think that was me that put that up.
Let's, if you don't mind going through your class features while I go on to the next little bit. As a strange, oblong, tentacled creature kind of floats down off of the cliffside. It seems to bounce far more joyously and out of place compared to your surroundings. A small mass of weird shapes put together has a long mouth across the top of a mushroom-like head, many different phalanges and tentacles dangling below it, and 2 stalks that end in eyes. It floats around over to the side and is gently bobbing straight towards Adib.
What is that face, Adib?
Do I know what it is?
Let's see, you can make another Arcana check.
Look at that, man. Yes.
This particular little sprite is called a flumph. Flumps are small aberrations of a lawful good bent. Mysterious, they drift through areas of the Underdark, propelled through the air by the jets whose sound give them their name. A flump glows faintly, reflecting its moods in its color. Soft pink means that it's amused, deep blue is sadness, green expresses curiosity, and crimson is anger. This particular flump seems tinged in a pinkish green. And you recognize that while they resemble rather silly jellyfish, they communicate telepathically. They're sentient beings of great intelligence and wisdom. They possess advanced knowledge of religion, philosophy, mathematics, and countless other subjects that they occasionally gift wayward travelers with. They're very sensitive to the emotional states of nearby creatures.
Can I go ahead and reach out to it telepathically?
Be careful, I think it's a mind flayer. Look at the tentacles.
Yes.
So I'll just reach out telepathically with my telepathic feet, and just reach out to it and say, "Greetings. How may we help you today?"
Images flow through your mind of your hands doing a ritual for a spell called Summon Familiar.
Well, this is a first. So apparently, everyone, this is the familiar I summoned. Apparently, changing planes of existence might alter some spells. So I'm going to just remember that. I kind of pull my orb out, that's my spell book, and kind of just swirl around inside, making notes that only I can read.
What else can you summon?
I don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to have to do some research into how summoning spells work down here.
perhaps even trial and error, as forays to the outer planes are either exceedingly rare or rarely written down. That could have to do with the ratio of survivors. Okay, you have a little flump. I named him Flumper. We are free to change that. As per normal familiar rules, he's there as a resource, but he doesn't really engage in combat. And you get the distinct sense of him being more of an observer in this process. He's like the watcher. He is Switzerland.
Well, since my familiar has shown up, why don't we have him proceed ahead of us and communicate telepathically to me?
Excellent idea.
Use him as a scout.
He
Very
takes
well.
he takes up on your shoulder, his gangly tendrils kind of just like creating a weird coifer pauldron. It's slightly uncomfortable at first, but he soothes you telepathically, and his eyes just kind of swivel back and forth. He's somewhat amused, but doesn't seem to be terribly interested in taking instruction.
Apparently the spell is affected even more so by down here, so apparently we will have to stay with the standard order we've already decided.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove him from the map. Just remember he's on your person. He will, of course, preserve his own life, and may, you get the sense, intercede if something dire were to happen. But he has a strange, if not altogether alien set of priorities.
You know, you can turn it upside down, and you have a funny little hat. And you have straps where you tie it underneath your chin, like a town's guard.
Eye stalks underneath your chin.
So did the flump just like goo inside of like Adib's like shirt or something? Like, what do you mean he's on his person?
Like it sat on his shoulder, and so all
It's
those
just got a
weird little
Like
yeah.
how a parrot sits on a pirate's shoulder.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Polly.
Probably want to
He wants a Shadowfell cracker.
Okay, so we had Shimmy, Adib, Alandir, and then Baroth wanted to keep a little distance there at the back.
Yeah, just in case anything kind of comes out from behind us. That way there's a bit of a buffer in between.
My roll 20 has decided to have a seizure. Oh, that's not pretty.
Well, while we have technical difficulties, I just want to say R.I.P. Kobe Bryant. Just want to get that out there. That's my first political statement ever on Twitch. I just want everyone to know that. Black Mamba.
Your first intentional one, at least.
You know, Josh, that is a really good point. You probably said some really dumb shit.
Let's see if we'll do a full refresh on the roll 20. Everyone gets to listen to just the boring sounds of our voice instead of the background music for a second.
Only I actually had a liar right now.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, it worked.
And the guy who brought a guitar to some sessions at the table because he wanted to play a bard, and to be honest, he got rather annoying.
Did he just play Wonderwall all the time?
Well, he brought like an electric guitar, never plugged it in, but it like he's not that good.
That'll do it.
Kind of the principal thing you want to... Anyway.
Well, he practices enough. He's not good enough to join a band, but like it was just distracting.
And probably really like loud.
I think he'll.
It's like right
I think
there.
he'll get a bowl. It's like, okay, everyone, put your cell phones in here, and Jim, put your freaking guitar in here too.
Right. Props are there to
'Cause you
enhance the
children.
game, not destroy it. Okay.
Speaking of, I got a ship coming that I got to paint by Saturday. Oh my god.
I think this is time to do my weekly anti-endorsement. If any of our wonderful viewers, players, or other individuals are interested in getting into a virtual tabletop setting for D&D, which is a wonderful experience, I love it very much, please find an alternative to Roll20. You'll thank me later.
Always seems to be causing you issues.
Yeah.
Just background shit these days, just lag and servers. That little red box of doom that pops up. But before I get too deep into the tight corners of what I really hope is natural Shadowfell stone and not some weird curse stuff, I look back to the gentlemen. I think, all three of them are gentlemen. Yeah, Viroth, Adib, yeah. Okay. Do I easily identify anyone as like Mr. Clanky or someone who's crazy enough to be wearing like metal boots?
The one garbed in the heaviest armor would be Viroth.
That tracks.
On a bookkeeping note, the map starts at the very bottom center of this panel once it's loaded for you.
I see myself.
Hey, there we go.
Grab your token and move
Nothing
it
else.
around if it's not working for you. It might refresh it.
Do you have any dark vision?
Yeah, if you don't have...
That's what I was looking for. I don't think so.
Nope.
I can move him and everything. I just can't see anything.
Yes, you would lack dark vision.
What about the other two fellows? One looks awfully human.
They seem to be making their way and taking in their surroundings just fine.
Okay, wow, impressed. So impressed sometimes. Sometimes you need to say, wow, that's impressive.
Good thing Viroth is in the back, behind people who can see.
Yeah, seriously.
Do you
Someone grab my hand.
do you need a torch?
No, I think I have
Okay.
one. I'm looking.
Do you need someone to light the torch for you?
Nope, I've got everything I need for the torch. I just don't know how to do it in Roll20.
Oh, you just tell me.
Oh, torch, please.
Okay. Go ahead and burn one torch from your inventory. They last about an
I was gonna
hour, so I'm just going to assume.
I thought his words were going to say, so go ahead and roll initiative.
Roll for how
We
long
made
the
it
torch
in.
is gonna last. Hey, I can see.
There we go.
We made it in, hooray.
Alright, let's go back to the playmat now that everything's loaded.
Out of character, possibly in character question. Are Flump's tentacles always blue?
They do vary based on their mood. So this one seems to be oscillating between
So it's the whole
green
thing?
and
Okay.
pink. Yeah.
Cool. I wasn't sure if it's just like a body thing or the whole shebang.
Bioluminescence. Oh, it is an angry roll 20 tonight. Matches the thunderstorm. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt on that.
I'm going in the most incredibly safe and slowest I could possibly be.
Okay.
But that's usually around the same pace of these other folk who are not sneaking and sniffing and searching for traps all basically at the same time.
So
I assume there's not traps, so I'm gonna go easy on the traps, more looking for footprints and possible blood drops of the crazy drow ants. The apparent Barovian who went before us?
Okay. So roll a survival check as you're making way through. You'll also be moving at half speed if you're snacking, but you have your bonus action if you'd like to use that to help mitigate that.
Yeah, I am. I'm doing both, but I'm not gonna get too far ahead. Literally, like 20 feet at the most. Like,
Okay.
I just go up to the corner, stop, crouch down, wait for them to come. Like a cat going to the mailbox in the morning. Like, the cat knows it needs to go that 30 feet to the mailbox, but I'm gonna stop. Because I have to wait for my humans to catch up.
Very fair. All right. So we'll go kind of in the order that you're stacked up, unless someone interjects with an action. I assume you all defer to the rogue who's taken point, taken vanguard. Okay. So, Shimmy with a 20 survival. You can see different impressions in the ground here. Maybe they were tracks, but it seems to have been like brushed over. It's very hard to make out anything in particular, but they definitely lead deeper into the cavern.
All right. Can I go ahead and make movements?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this way. This way. I know the way. That's a tunnel joke because there's only one way.
One word.
All right.
I'm just waiting for everyone else to move.
Do you have a torch yet? Oh yeah, you have your torch up.
Yeah, I can finally see.
I'm just going to keep moving forward.
Vera, how tall are you?
I think I'm 8.
I will.
So he's probably stooped over. How tall is this cavern? Yeah, 8 feet.
I am near expert level of doing things like this. This is my favorite. Unknown places, I get to sniff things out. I'll do my best to try to warn you of any potential headbangers.
Perhaps you should go as far as you can and call back at us to describe what's in there. If you want to, friend. You seem particularly suited for that.
At this point, you reach an intersection. There are some cavern rocks in front of you. Many of them seem to be mundane. 2 of them kind of glisten.
That's definitely strange. Gonna go ahead and step away from strange glowing rocks. I'm gonna look back and I'm gonna do some strange hand signals, which you should be doing.
Do any of us understand his hand signals?
Insight checks. Lander
16.
Baroth.
I have...
A deep, pokes himself in the empathy center of his brain. Elandir and Varoth seem to roughly understand, there's something weird here. Come on, this way.
Let's go.
That I was straight up assuming was the most recent tracks of our cat and her compatriot. Was it...
At this point, you do see...
I don't know the name. Shit.
2 slightly clearer sets of tracks. But they seem to double back and go both directions.
Oh, lovely. They done got themselves lost.
Do we know what they were originally looking for here?
The cat
I
didn't
believe they were just
mention
going to scout ahead.
or elaborate on her suspicions, but the long-term goal is to find the Winter Lodging.
As they look up here, they probably double back. Is there any possible way to tell which one may be more recent, or it's just stone floor shit?
It's a stone floor, but I'll give you a survival check with disadvantage.
Could I also do a survival check if I know that we're looking at the footprints?
Yeah, you can squeeze your way by a Landir and a Deeb up towards where Shimmy is. Take a look. The tunnel is as tall as it is wide, so at this point, even a Deeb and a Landir are having to duck down a little bit to make their way through.
I'm gonna take a hard look at the shimmering rocks.
Sorry,
I think I'm going to do that as well.
Viroth, that'll be at disadvantage as well with the stone floors. So just one more roll, and we'll take the lower of the two. Deeb and Alander, how do you go about the investigation of the rocks?
I mean, I'm looking for indication of, like, its properties, if it's magical, if it's something familiar.
I'm also trying to decide if it's inherently magical.
Okay. How would you go about doing that?
Investigate, like, what I believe to be its properties, and then try to remember if, I've come across anything similar.
Okay. Paint me a word
I'd like
picture.
to cast...
Like a chemist or a geologist might take a little pick and go at a piece of rock to...
Lick it.
You could lick it. That's also a
I'm
thing.
smelling
You
it.
could
Lick the
cast a
science.
detect magic spell. You could just sit there and kind of plumb your memory.
I'm just plumbing my memory. Just physical senses without touching it.
Okay.
Smelling it, judging its luminosity, the shape.
Roll an Arcana check, Landir. Adib, what methods would you like to use?
Oh, I'm just going to straight up cast Identify.
Okay. You can do that as a ritual or a first level spell slot.
Go ahead and do it as a ritual.
That'll take about 10 minutes.
So I'll just kind of sit down, touch the rock, and I'm going to start chanting.
Okay. Landir, you're not sure if its appearance is based on like its refractive properties, something like glass, or if it might be something more. All right. As to the rest of you, Adib sits down next to the rocks and begins kind of like chanting and moving his hands like this. He's got his orb out to his side. With a 18 and a 22, it seems like the tracks lead off to the west. Shimmy, from your vantage point, you can see that they double backed pretty close to this intersection.
Now I know why.
As you move forward, there is a pool of water about 15 feet wide and 10 feet long, with some more water standing on the other side. Its depth is indeterminate.
I am gonna make sure my seashell armor with enchanted seaweed is nice and tight. And ever so slowly, like a cat stalking some prey, I'm gonna try my best not to make any waves or ripples in the water. And I want to go for it.
Roll a stealth or an acrobatics check at your discretion. (26). As much as can be done, you do. As you kind of tiptoe across, you create small ripples, but very subtle. What kind of
Is
boots?
it very deep?
What kind of boots are you wearing?
Boots? I just have no boots. It's my cat paws on the floor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Am I swimming or kind of just creeping along like a little tiny little pool on the floor?
At that point, unless you can walk on water, you would be submerged, like up to your chest.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not as deep as I thought it'd be. I'm going slow and I am listening and make sure there's no little baby kraken or something up in here.
Do you want to take some more time to look around the water, or are you trying to move through? You'll have to stop for a second for a perception check.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, Shimmy is a curious cat. So do what I can.
Perception.
It's one of those things that I don't know what I think I'm gonna find, but it might just be a corpse. It might be the best situation.
Indeed, there seems to be a corpse up against this wall, submerged. It's leaning up, it's upright, sitting, but it has kind of slumped to the side.
As I feel it, can I see too much in... we're in darkness, I assume, especially underwater. Mm-hmm. Does dark vision help that at all if I open my eyes? Or is it all kind of just touchy-feely go?
It would help. You'd be able to see through it in black and white, much like you could, depending on the opacity of the water.
I will do so. Is this the main thing I'm trying to do is to see if the corpse is like super decayed, or is it might be a little more fresh?
It appears skeletal, but as you open your eyes under the water, make a Constitution saving throw. The water is perfectly clear, almost crystalline.
Oh boy. Send out the prayer.
Shimmy, you come up for air
crap.
And no longer remember the skeleton beneath the waves. You also wonder why you're in a cave. Last thing you remember is some dark bamboo and an old crone. You also appear to be alone.
Oh, this not good.
What's your passive perception? A 20? You can hear a familiar voice of a Deeb chanting down to the south.
Those spellcasters must be playing tricks on old Jimmy again. I said last time was last time.
The rest of you can hear Shimmy mumbling to himself about something, but at this distance it's indecipherable. Varoth and Alandir, anything...
I think that's probably a normal thing, so I'm just not going to pay it any mind. Unless he starts to sound panicked, Varoth isn't going to do anything.
Soaking wet kitty, ears all the way back, hands on hips.
He's mad at the spellcasters. I know they did it.
I knew you did it. It was who was it?
A Deeb
just like looking around at everyone.
A Deeb seems to be focused on the stone in front of him, but Varoth and Alandir are just kind of slowly looking around the cavern when you come in.
Who that chanting, casting that magic on Shimmy?
Why are you soaking wet?
Mage did it.
The mage has been looking at rocks.
That's what they cast him through. It's called the arcane focus.
He's investigating the rocks, companion. Did you find something?
What? Do I remember them all? My memory doesn't go faded back that far.
No, it seems to have been rolled back just a couple of hours.
How? Did Mittens teach you how to do that?
Do what?
So all of a sudden where I go, yeah, and Shimmy is somewhere else. Where are we?
We're in the cave. You let us into the cave. You went off that way. We've been following the footprints to see where they lead.
I'm gonna look up at you. Are you in it with them? Is this joke?
This is not a joke. Why would I joke about this?
What? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why you play joke like this in Shadowfell? It's very dangerous.
Varoth and Alandir can make insight checks at this point.
I'm still chanting.
Yeah, you are distracted.
Man, I am rolling low, but I've got good modifiers.
Alandir, you're not sure what Shimmy's getting at. Maybe he's pulling your leg. Maybe something's going on. Varoth, Shimmy seems confused and almost like he thinks he just popped up wherever is around that bend on your right-hand side.
Is this something that he would have seen before? That would he put 2 and 2 together that he's soaking wet and has memory loss?
At this point, you're not even determinate on the memory loss.
Alright, I don't think I'm gonna do anything about this. Just, we need to continue on. I don't know why you're soaking wet or why you think we're playing a joke, but are you almost done looking at that rock?
It's a teleport rock.
Don't touch
it. Be careful.
Alright.
I touched it, didn't I?
Adib seems to be partway through his spellcasting, but doesn't respond, so he doesn't break his concentration. Would anyone else like to poke around a bit, or are you waiting for him to finish up?
I don't want to leave him, so I'll just wait. I might go a little further this way to the west, but I'm not going to just leave him there.
I'm curious about what's around the corner, but at this point Shimmy's freaking me out, so I'm just going to stay with the others.
Alright, at the end of your spell casting, this seems to be cold iron.
Am I going to know the significance of that?
Let's see. It's forged at lower temperatures and is effective against certain types of fae and other outsiders.
Ooh.
Possibly even something as fantastical as a demon or a devil.
Can I bring some with me?
They're fairly big rocks. You can try and dislodge them through some means, or do you just go over and try and pick them up?
Oh, I was thinking of using maybe like a small hammer to try and like get any shavings or something off.
Yeah, you can get some cold iron shavings.
I'm thinking maybe just like take a little bag out of my kind of side pack and shave as much off as I can to put into a bag.
Let's call that 1 pound of cold iron.
Okay, yeah, I'll totally take a pound of cold iron. And it's basically powder, kind of, if I'm shaving it a little bit?
Yeah, you could, with this amount, and it does come off in shavings, you could potentially make some small ornamental item, or perhaps tip some arrowheads, that sort of thing.
Or blow it in a fairy's face.
Blow it in a fairy's face.
Yeah, pocket sand was my first thought. It was just like, oh, wait.
Alright.
Well, everyone, looks like this is cold iron.
Shimmy, they look at you expectatiously.
Why are you wet?
I asked him the same thing.
Shimmy's thinking in his head, wondering. This only happened like 3 times in his life, but sometimes he gets so smelly that people force him to take baths, and it's usually the only means possible is by just some powerful magic.
Let's see. Varoth and Alandir, now that Adib has kind of joined the conversation as well, anyone who's actually trained in medicine might be able to infer the amnesia. Go ahead and roll it if you are. If the party's not, how would you like to proceed?
Well, I can't see in the dark, but I can lead the way if Shim is too concerned and wet to continue on.
Well, I'm always ready to continue. I must be looking over my back a lot more.
That's always a good idea, Jim. Why don't you go ahead and keep leading? And I'm just gonna look at Adib and Varoth like, yeah? Right? Is this how we deal with this one?
Alright, Shimmy, put yourself back in point in front of Viroth, and after a little reposition, you can see that 10-15 feet down the way, the tunnel curves to the left, and we will take our first break here. Be right back, everybody. Welcome back to the House Campaign. We are here with our 4 haggard heroes as they make their way through a mysterious cave into which Kat and Kavir have absconded after their disappeared guide at Winter Eladrin. They have made their way through the first section, just about 40 or 50 feet into the mountainside, as Shimmy once again takes the lead. Come upon a little curve to your left, back to the south.
I'm going to shimmy along this corridor. And for all you wonderful viewers, shimmy is like a broad term. It's kind of a better version of words that you may have heard before in pop culture, like squanch or things like that. You know, because
Love
shimmy
squanch.
The
you can
shimmy
shimmy
is an
that.
actual thing. You do this, that's a shimmy.
I have
Yep.
never
Shake your
heard the word
titties.
squanch before in
Shimmy,
my
shimmy.
life.
Not either at all.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, at all.
we're
Go
on very
watch-
different sides of TikTok.
Okay. Well, the
Rick and Morty.
session is suspended.
Yeah.
Go
Well,
watch
I've
Rick and
never
Morty.
seen it. I think I saw one episode and was like, this is dumb. Sorry to anyone who
Okay, I
loves the
respect it.
show. It's not for me.
I don't watch it to feel smart. Trust me.
Yeah.
As I get around the corner, I'm going to do the typical thing where my head goes sideways and my ears kind of pop out around the corner first, and then my eyes, and then I slowly go back. And then I'm going to do like a little turkey peek because I think I see something glowing over there, so I'm going to look around the corner real quick, look around the corner for like a little bit longer, and then slowly... Oh, it's just a mushroom, okay.
There is a blue, almost blue-green glowing mushroom sitting by itself in the corner of this section. As for the rest of you, how far back do you stay from Shimmy? He is now out of sight.
Well, I was waiting for the other two to go in front of me, but if they're not going to be in the middle, I'll just leave them here.
No, I'm happy to follow Shimmy.
Alright, Shimmy, hold up a sec as the rest of the party...
I will be...
positions.
Yeah,
Where
we'll get
is
too far. I'll be waiting for them.
Is he over
He's-
here?
Gone around the corner. He's in front of me.
The wet cat smells leading off to the west.
Okay. Oh yeah. I'll proceed a little bit ahead of Elondir, kind of keep the same party order if everyone's okay with that.
Cool. I'm just kind of following right up to the corner.
As you come around a corner, the blue light of what I assume to be a pretty decent sized toadstool over there, I'm going to be part way into the light, and as you come around, some more hand signals. I see something over there.
More hands.
I can't see him right now, so...
So inside check on my part, probably.
Or intelligence. I don't know.
There's a blue.
They're not
glowing
super complicated.
mushroom.
I'm not thieves canting it.
Yeah, that he seems to be gesticulating to after he points to his eyes.
And I'm definitely not going towards that mushroom. This is a suspicious corridor and weird little angle here, I think, for some reason. In a place Shimmy would love to put a secret door. So he's going to look for a trap or a secret door right here.
Make an investigation check as you kind of use your claw to tap around on the side of that particular area.
Because this looks like it's been carved out maybe around this way on purpose, so it's a weird corner when that glowing mushroom might be a distraction from what's actually over here. That's what I'm thinking. You said investigation.
23.
Man, rolling it tonight. Let's go.
It's been a good minute or so, kind of poking around to no avail.
Okay. Damn. The cat's staring at the wall again. I'm just gonna shrug.
Do we have any clues?
I'm not here.
Do we have any clues as to where our Eladrin went? Friends?
I think we're just following the footprints right now. We don't know where
She straight up
gone.
like disappeared in front of her eyes, didn't she?
I think so, right? Like kind of went
mid-sentence?
toward the cave, but like dissipated.
Alright, obligatory screen time. Say hi, everybody. It's like, no, I hate
Hi.
you. Bye-bye.
Hey, kid. So I'm gonna try and keep Shimmy within line of sight of myself the whole time. Try to keep line of sight of Shimmy and try and keep line of sight of the group behind us.
Okay.
I'll just try to catch up with Adib.
Yeah, I'm just following behind.
I'm not going very fast, but I'm trying to go slow as silent as possible, you know.
Yeah. Roll a stealth check, Shimmy. Okay. You don't have any cover from Adib, but Adib, you can't hear him move. He's utterly silent.
Nice.
Alright. Ahead of you, the tunnel seems to open up a bit, especially to the right.
That's a hole, isn't it?
Yes, there's a cylindrical, gaping hole in the middle of this section of the tunnel. More of that strange purplish metal to the north, a small pool of crystalline water, just about 15 feet ahead of you and to the right. On your far right is a facade that's made up almost entirely of individual rocks. It seems like that part of the cave has collapsed in on itself.
Keeping my distance.
Can't see any of this.
Is there any sound coming from it?
There's a slight whistling wind that seems to be emitting from it.
No sound of water? Maybe some water drainage or anything in a deeper cavern below us? Alright, screw it. I'm gonna do the Turkey Peak, but I'm super paranoid Turkey Peak, which means I'm pretty much hopping, and I'm gonna hop over it and look down at the same time, but I'm going fast.
Make a perception check.
I'm too scared just to point my head over and look for more than a second.
Okay. The rest of the party, before Shimmy moves again, you've got one move worth of time between the last time you saw him and where you're at right now.
I'm gonna keep moving forward.
A slow crawl.
Yep.
With a 25 Shimmy, how far is your dark vision? 60 feet?
Yes. That does sound correct.
Right near the end of your dark vision, almost before you're comfortable with where it ends your benefit, there is a writhing mass of something black. Little fingers almost coming out of the darkness. You're not really sure if they're tentacles or snakes.
I will shimmy my way on over here. And I'll warn them about the Indiana Jones trap over there.
Your 25 also gives you the benefit, your whiskers perk up a bit as you pass this section of gray, fresher rock that's all piled up. Kind of leans backwards from you at an angle, and there seems to be little wafts of wind coming through it.
It usually indicates some sort of other connecting tunnel or corridor. Will it be... Alright, I'll tell them first to make sure they're safe. That's priority. So normally I'd be having time of my life in here, but now I got responsibility and I don't want them to die.
That's right. Thank you.
Because hopefully one of them's the main reason I'm gonna leave this damn place.
Do our best.
Shimmy may be a tabaxi, but he likes to sunbathe, damn it. I need my rock next to the fish pond. But, you know, snakes, if anyone knows snakes or wiggly things, I'll try to whisperly describe it to each one as they walk by. I'm not even gonna roll out the chance it might be a noose down there. I didn't get a good look. I'm just a shadow fell. I'm too scared. But you, if anyone wishes to go down, just I'll be an anchor, a fly, or a rope, maybe. Does anyone have a little pocket mirror?
No, I don't.
I could fire a firebolt down there and see what the light shows.
Would you like me to drop a torch down there?
I don't want to disturb what I do not know is down there. Just don't fall in. Do what you want, I guess, but just don't fall in. It might not just... I don't think it's water, and it's about 60 feet down. It's like a straight tunnel down, right? It's not like a cavern, it's just a straight hole. Same diameter as the opening all the way down.
It's not smooth, but it is consistent.
Oh, that might be freaking acid. And sorry, that might be out of character. Jimmy wouldn't... He's not that smart.
Could I possibly persuade my little flump to go and look for us?
Well, there we go, yes.
Make a persuasion check.
Start the NPC chant. NPC.
15. Happy-go-lucky as ever and turning a bright pink, indicating curiosity. The foam floats off to the edge, sticking one of its eye stalks over.
Can I perceive through him like a normal familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
So my eyes go blank, and I'm gonna look through my familiar's eyes down into this pit.
Deep sways back and forth slightly. You can see, using its dark vision, the black and white features of the tunnel as it continues downwards, and at the end of his range, you can see a small, writhing black mass that seems to either fill or coat the floor.
Do I know what maybe it is?
Writhing tentacles, snakes, perhaps even some sort of fluid.
Oh. I would advise that we don't go down there or possibly recognize it.
Is that where the tracks lead?
It's a good question. I haven't checked for trips or the tracks in here yet.
I'm gonna search this room with a survival check.
Yeah, I'd also like to be looking for the footprints or the tracks.
Yes. Disadvantage on both those, please.
Oh yeah, sorry. Stones.
Smooth stone floor. Let's see. With a 13, they definitely moved through here, but you lose track as they pass to the south of this hole. Oh, Lander rolled that. Never mind.
Wow.
What did I roll?
You rolled a survival. We were just going for Viroth and Shimei.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you could still help. Let's see. We'll count the first 20 and the second 20. So all on the disadvantage with a 20. The tracks appear to go to the north, turn back, and go underneath or through the collapsed section of the cavern.
It's my next section. Hunch, I'm gonna check real quick. This pool, how deep is it?
It seems to be like trickling out underneath the rock, so you can see beneath it that there's a little groove, a basin that's been worn over time. Maybe
okay.
just like 3 or 4 inches at its deepest part.
I'm gonna slowly guide everyone this way. And want to be careful of the pit, but I'm pretty sure the passage is everyone literally might have to get their shimmy on through these rocks here. So I'm gonna do a little, like, it shifted. We might have to do like a little S motion up. So if you need to stretch out, now might be the time.
So that's
Get a little windy.
As far as you can see the tracks to the north, and then more of them come back down and through this. But it is caved in. There's naught but cracks between the rocks.
Their tracks do look like they're not extremely thorough because they don't go all the way in.
Well, that's as far as you can see
see
from your other position. So if you want to check this new area, you can do that.
If anyone wants to try to check the rocks, maybe y'all with some of the bigger packs too, we might have to move some, maybe.
Yeah, I can check. You said we might have to move some of them?
Yeah, they're slanted at an angle, and I think that angle of the shift, we might have to start climbing up through them.
Alrighty, what kind of check do I need to do to see if we need to move any of those, and if I even could?
Yeah, you can kind of poke around and see that the rock structure is kind of loose. Make a survival check. No advantage or disadvantage. As Shimmy makes his way around an odd-shaped column in this section of the tunnel, there's a long stretch ahead of you full of glowing blue and green mushrooms.
That looks straight up like a gauntlet of probably Shadowfell death. I'm curious because do we know what those other blue mushrooms do? I was like, look, I found a bunch of small ones now. I'll step to the side as everyone needs to look. I'm gonna ask the spellcasters on a party, or anyone, even the Goliath pal, if they know what would happen if someone was to touch something or eat these, or are they edible?
Could I do a nature check on the mushrooms?
Yeah, first you'll be checking out the cave-in, and with a 10, it definitely appears like part of the tunnel has collapsed, but unfortunately you're not able to tell how recent or whether or not it's safe to move.
I could probably move these rocks, but it might be unsafe to do so.
Might be opposite way. I want to try something, but I might need someone's help. And that's a Deeb right behind me, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take off my pack. And my pack is just one thick, like strap across my armor, and I'm gonna shimmy that off me. I'm gonna say, "Can you hold this, please?"
Very well.
I'm going to sling my bow across my back. I'm gonna make sure Princess in her holster is tightly secured, and I'm gonna like crab walk along the walls and try not to touch the floor, assuming these mushrooms aren't on the wall and ceiling as well.
They are growing on every surface. And this part of the tunnel is only about 5 or 6 feet tall. At this distance,
I'm gonna look down. I'm gonna get down in there.
Bluish green glowing mushrooms.
And I'm gonna say, nope, Shimmy, don't want to do that. What were you saying over there, Viroth, about those rocks?
I could move them, but it probably is not safe to do so. We could make things worse instead of better.
Well...
Though
okay.
that looks like it's too small for me to fit through, so that may be our only choice.
I'll take my pack back, thank Adib kindly. And
Absolutely.
give him a little wink of appreciation. I'm a poisoner, and I've dealt with crazy stuff like this. I literally have some serious poisons on me. I probably don't recognize any of this, but can I try to test to see if it's poisonous? Like that? Do I have any sort of testing kits? Like lay a little strip for put your arrow on here for turn.
Lick it.
What's it?
You can take a little nibble.
Yeah, okay.
You coward.
No, I'm no coward, trust me. I'm super curious. So I'm gonna hand my bow and my magical rapier to Adib this big, just in case. I don't want to wake up wet again. And I'm... I am going to... First thing, I'll do it in steps. Just let me walk this through it. I'll figure out. Paw, no glove. I'm gonna touch it.
All right. As you do,
One little bean.
one little toe beam.
Covering my face like it's gonna explode or something. Oh god, is it gonna explode?
Small puff of some powdery substance
Hold my breath.
takes
Hold
to
my
the
breath.
air and sticks quite nicely to your fur as well. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
I'm gonna do like a cat. We throw it in the shower and just bangs off the wall. Just god.
13.
13's not bad, I guess.
You will take 11 poison damage and 1 necrotic damage.
So is it safe to say that we know that this is poisonous now? Like, just with the commotion that
I don't know
Shimmy's
how.
making and taking damage. Okay.
I'm gonna probably blow out a... It wasn't inhaled, so I'm not like blowing out bloody snot right now, but it's reacting on my skin then, huh? Like an irritant on my skin?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, these are the ones we don't want to touch. Might be different if we can hold our breath and walk through them and create some clouds, but these are... We might have to wrap ourselves up if we want to walk through this. Has anyone got any wind or ability to make us slimy or something not to stick to us? Has anyone got any oil?
Well, if you don't mind, before we get rid of them, I do have a poisoner's kit. I wouldn't mind adding to the supplies.
For the low price of 5 gold, I can do it for you.
May I take you up on that?
You've heard me. Well, we haven't talked that much, but definitely on our travels, I've been talking about, the great ways. It's like Bubba Gump from Forrest Gump. You can create stabbing poisons. You can create inhaling poisons. You create poisons you can put in pie. You can create poisons you step on. You can create poisons you do that only works when you go to sleep. You can create poisons that only work when it's stroke of midnight.
I would never want to create a poison. I just stumbled across this kit in my travels. I was just curious to hold it.
Well, by all means, let me fill it up for you.
Thank you.
I didn't mean to link that, by the way. I'm sorry.
Trust it won't actually cost me 5 gold.
Oh, it will, of course.
Fair is fair. I'll have to pay you whenever we get out of here.
This wasn't in the contract of adventuring. Oh, you don't have any money right now? Shimmy don't like that. Shimmy don't like a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like Shimmy. But number one people Shimmy don't like poor people. Because why? Because they don't pay Shimmy for services.
Is it Elendil that's the one that's traveling with his retinue?
Oh, the retinue.
And doesn't have any food of his own?
I don't have any.
About that.
Okay, that explains why he doesn't have any money on him. It's like, oh, why would I bother to carry that with me?
Well, I do have just a bit, but I think, it would be wise to, just get on about our business.
He has money, he just won't give it to you, Shimmy.
Well, I don't want to take it because I'm not angry at him just yet. No, but I'll do the deed.
I will make good on my debt. Thank you.
My hands are usually steady as rock anyway. I'll get down on like my all fours and scrape like the underside or the glowing blue like mucus that I touched. Or I think it's the spores. I think I disturbed the mushroom and it spurted the spores. So I'll scrape from like underneath.
Are you still within 5 feet of the mushrooms?
Yes.
Make another Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
There seems to be a light, luminescent mist drifting through the corridor at this point from all of the mushrooms. But you resist the effect.
Would you like me to burn them out of the way?
That would be good. It's better than what I have planned. But it seems like a waste. If we have a way to harvest this, we could be rich.
Well, if we weren't able to harvest it just then maybe we should just get rid of the poisonous things.
I 100% agree. I might have a little tear of blood drop down from my eyeball.
Okay. Sorry for asking you to go touch the awful mushrooms again.
Yeah, so rocks maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say, while they're doing this, can Viroth try shifting some of the rocks just to see if he can get a feel for if it's just gonna cause an even worse cave-in, or if I'm actually gonna be able to clear some of that out of the way?
What if we take rocks and put them on mushrooms? Yeah, you're right. Viroth is freaking 8 feet tall. That does make the corridor smaller for our giant friend.
There's not mushroom for him in there.
What these two intellectuals, and one of them literally has a nerd spell book, I think. What if we make ourselves wet, or make mushroom wet first?
Shimmy, you're trained in nature, so you can actually go ahead and roll that if you'd like.
Also, isn't Shimmy still wet from when he was in the pool in the other room?
Yes, probably.
Can I go ahead and actually try and mage hand pick up a mushroom and just hold it in the air? See what happens?
Yeah. You pluck one and a very large mist comes off of it as you lift it into the air. 17. These mushrooms are called death spore fungus, Shimmy, and you've only heard a couple of rumors about them from people who trade with denizens of the Underdark. They seem to affect not only your physiology, but your spiritual energy as well, hence the poison and necrotic damage. And anyone who succumbs to them doesn't truly die.
That just makes me want to harvest more of it. Doesn't truly die.
Brains.
Like soul
zombie mushrooms.
Oh, it turns him into some sort of... Oh, like, it's the crazy part of the myconids.
We need to get rid of these.
I'm gonna wash this cruff off real quick.
Splish splash.
Something's wrong when Shimmy's willingly getting wet.
Make a dexterity saving throw. You're kind of splashing about and washing it off.
Oh, crap.
29.
Something.
Very proficient, very quick bath. As little as you need to use to get yourself free of this blue powder.
Snot rockets, and I'm cleaning out my ears because now I'm paranoid I might have brain fungus.
Okay, Adib is levitating one of them a couple of feet up off the ground. Lander, you could squeeze through to get a better view for more analysis. Viroth,
I would do that.
Okay. Alright. Move your token where you want to go. Viroth, go ahead and make an athletics check. With a 10 in your first couple of rounds of work, you have difficulty dislodging any meaningful part of the pile of stones.
I'd like to keep trying.
Keep it up.
I'm gonna turn around and look at Adib and say, should I get rid of these things?
Probably clear a path so we can proceed forward.
Okay, then I'm gonna take out my lyre.
The bard is going to play on his...
You know, some mushroom harvesting music?
I have Wall of Fire.
Yeah.
Do you want me to try to
problem solver, you mean? Yeah, that's a 60-foot long problem solver. About 10 feet high, 1 foot thick.
Shall I?
Hey,
I'm on the other side of the room. Do whatever you want.
I am not trained in Arcana, and
Not your
anything
mom.
magical like that's just going to be sweet.
I'm just looking at Adib because he's the one messing with the fungus and seems to know what it is. Shall I?
What are you planning on doing?
Sending a ring of fire at the fungus to destroy it all, hopefully.
It sounds like a wonderful plan. Before you do, I'm going to take a couple steps back.
Alright, everyone move into position where you'd like to be before Adib strums the chord. I mean, a lander, sorry.
I'm going to warn our ranger friend. Just be like, fire in the hole.
And I'm just gonna take a deep breath and play a mean tune on my lyre.
Alright.
See what, and send a ring of fire at him.
And it burns.
Burns. The ring of fire.
The ring of
And
fire.
my lyre.
The wall of fire, where would you like it to start? Just about right here and run its way down?
I mean, like, in front of me, probably just like right where it starts, and then just send it on down that way.
Before he does it, I want to, I've crawled in many tunnels, just in case there's any blowback. I want to have my hand on like his shoulder and his cloth, and his bag, just to rip him out of the way in case like there's any explosion or something like that.
Okay.
Am I able to like slowly move the the wall of fire forward? Just like, not like super slowly, just enough to be able to.
Yeah, I threw the spell description up, so I would encourage you to read through it pretty carefully and then make your determination.
Okay.
For the benefit of the audience, you create a wall of fire on a solid surface within range. You can make the wall up to 60 feet long, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick, or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter, 20 feet high and 1 foot thick. That application would not, unfortunately, work in this particular environment, so the wall is opaque and lasts for the duration. When the wall appears, each creature within its area must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, it takes fire damage, or half as much damage on a successful save. One side of the wall selected by you when you cast the spell deals X amount of fire damage to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet of that side, or inside the wall.
Sounds slightly more volatile than I was going for.
It's gonna smell like roasted mushroom in here.
It is up to 60 feet, so it doesn't have to be a full 60 feet.
Right. So it would run the length until it turns to the right, just about 35 or 40 feet down the way, and you would want it to start at least 10 feet away from you.
Right.
I mean, this could be the first time you're playing the lyre, but I just had a little intercession there.
Yeah, well, I think, I think starting it off right where the mushrooms are, it would be outside of, me taking any damage. And it is a solid wall.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, sending a wall of fire down the corridor.
Right.
You look so pleased with yourself.
I'm excited.
You do...
Be gone.
You do indeed burn away all of the mushrooms that you can see, but the tunnel is now consumed in flames. And you can't really see what's going on beyond that. You just see them kind of wither when it starts, and now it's just a raging inferno. There is a waft of powder as the combustive force kind of takes up the entire space available, so you will get one little spray in the face. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Can I pull him out of that? Out of the way?
Yeah, Shimmy, you can make a Dex saving throw to try and negate the need for a Constitution saving throw. So Shimmy first. 18! Whoop! Extricate Elandir. Alright. We'll go ahead and switch
Thank
it
you.
over to the
It looked like it
other
worked.
side.
I'm purring in your ear.
Well, there is still a raging inferno, as long as you concentrate on the spell. Viroth, about now you'd have the chance to make another athletics check. With a 21, you get one of the large chunks of rocks removed. And as you do, you realize that the others surrounding them, cleverly made to look like they're all separate rocks, it's actually just one large one, and the illusion of the cave-in falls.
Well, illusion seems to be the name of the game. I've cleared the path for us here. What's on the other side of the cave-in?
The tunnel continues for a good 15 to 20 feet before turning to your left, due east.
Any footprints here?
Make a survival check. With a 14, you can see scuff marks that continue down this way.
I'm going this way. That way seems to be full of fire. So...
I would suggest we don't break up the party anymore at this point. And we go ahead and follow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll point out the scuff marks.
Pathway cleared below, and then as soon as Elandir drops the concentration, the pathway to the north seems to be clear of any mushrooms as well.
Yeah, except I don't think I can fit through the one up north, so I'm gonna go this way.
They are pretty close to the same size, but yeah, this one's a little bit bigger.
I'm gonna hold my bow at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
down a tunnel that the flames were, just in case that huge raging inferno caught the ire of something that may want to eat me, or my friends. So I just want to sit there for just a quick second to make sure nothing comes.
I'm gonna walk past my inferno and smile at it, and just wave my hand as I follow Varroth.
Oh, wait, it's still going, right?
No, not really, not anymore.
Okay, drop concentration and Shimmy. You see the tunnel before you just empty out. It bears scorch marks, but you don't see any mushrooms or any other features. Just bare stone now. Okay. So party, line up behind Varroth, and we will take our last break of the evening. Back soon, everyone. We rejoin the party as they make their way through an illusory cave-in, some sort of mysterious lair. Varroth, having successfully removed a large boulder at the center of the illusion, realizes that everything around it is actually a fake facade. To the north, an aisle of deadly death spore mushrooms have been burned out by Elantir and his Klee Lyre. Varroth now in the lead, the four of them make their way to the southeast. Varroth, you're in the lead, you got your little torch in front of you. What would you all like to do?
I'm just gonna slowly, carefully make my way through here.
I'm gonna start moving forward as well.
Okay. Three of you kind of behind, with Adib keeping about 10 feet away from Varroth at all times. Varroth, as
Sounds good.
turn the corner, the tunnel straightens itself out to the north, and you can see about your full 40 feet down in front of you that your torch gives you an illumination.
Do I still see scuff marks on the floor?
Let's see. Yeah, this is still close enough. You'd be keeping track of that. You can make another survival check here in about 2 squares to keep eyes on them. With a 13, yes, you can see them in this area. It's a bit dustier than previous. Get a little lucky here. The tunnel itself curves now ahead of you about 20 feet in the 4 to the right, and as it does so, it narrows.
Do I hear anything coming from up ahead?
Make a perception check.
Also, how much does it narrow?
You would have to squeeze through, but you can do so by turning horizontally and just kind of slowing your pace a bit. Not horizontally, sideways. 17. You don't hear anything. Creaking of rock, maybe some running water somewhere in here.
Okay, I'm gonna go forward and just turn sideways then to try to get through here. Oh my god, that is narrow. Okay.
Alright, as you slow down a bit to make your way to this intersection, it continues to the right and deeper into the cave to the north. You can see a set of red-capped mushrooms down that hallway. Make a perception check.
Okay, I was gonna say, I don't want to mess with mushrooms anymore, but perception.
With a 12, you can tell that the mushrooms have an orangish-red cap on top that's kind of bumped in rings to a center cap at the very top of that umbrella-like structure, and down below, the base of them is an ashy gray, almost black.
I wouldn't happen to know what kind of mushrooms these are. I don't think... They're probably not familiar.
Are you trained in nature? You can go ahead and roll it.
No.
No, I'm not that sort of ranger. Alright. So you have the path to the north, the path towards those mushrooms.
I'm going away from the mushrooms.
Okay.
To more mushrooms, apparently.
Towards more mushrooms of the same variety, it appears like.
Are they, like, completely covering the floor, or is it just kind of where they are on the map?
Just the squares that they touch on the map.
I'm gonna come into this room, but I'm not gonna touch anything.
Okay. As you move into the room and around that corner, there's a large mushroom sitting there on your left. It expands precipitously and then bursts into a gout of fire. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Sorry, fire?
Fire.
Interesting.
There's a noxious smell of sulfur and brimstone that accompanies it. So you gag a little bit, but there doesn't seem to be any deleterious effects from the odor. With an 18, you only take half damage. So 5 fire damage. You do kind of get concussed against the wall a little bit, and as you look back behind you, the cap of the mushroom is slowly growing those rings over each other, regenerating.
Watch out for these mushrooms. They will explode. I suggest we move quickly through here. And I'm gonna run around this corner here. Just to try to be away from these exploding mushrooms.
Okay. As you round the corner, you can catch a few cobwebs in the area, but the main feature of this hallway seems to be dots of little holes in the floor, and lots of little tiny ones around it.
I don't like this.
You can make out 6 of the larger cylinders, and then pock marks make their way around the edges of this part of the tunnel.
Can I tell if they're from, like, explosions from the mushrooms?
They seem almost too perfectly circular for that sort of effect.
Where is Shimmy? Shimmy!
Shimmy, as you approach that larger mushroom, the last ring on it grows out, and it begins to grow a waxy coating from the very top, slowly.
I'm gonna stay away from that for sure.
I'm gonna move back so that Shimmy can take the lead and look at these cylindrical holes over here.
I need to look in holes.
There's some strange holes ahead that don't seem to be from an explosion of some sort. You seem to be the sort who might know something about this.
I'm gonna say, okay, check it out, and I'm gonna stop and freeze, and I'm gonna immediately turn on these rocks. I'm gonna make sure they're not illusionary. So they look like the other ones.
They do indeed look very much like the other ones. Made of the same substance. There's a light ringing sound as if you've struck metal.
Okay, so at least they may be the same rocks. The other one sounded like metal too, right? Yeah, I assume they did. Sounds good.
So,
go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, Shimmy, which way did you go through the room? Did you squeeze past a Landir and a Deeb, or did you go up to the north and around to the right? Yeah, there's a
I went over here.
Okay. As you enter this square, that small mushroom behind you explodes. Make a dexterity saving throw. (26). You will only take half damage. 2 fire damage. And the ashy stem at the base again begins kind of regrowing that cap ring by ring.
I'm gonna reach down and grab that regrowing stalk and try to rip it up.
Okay. It's not too difficult. Comes out of the ground, and the regeneration process notably slows, but you don't think it stops. It's imperceptibly still growing.
And assuming there's no identical hole, just like to the one I'm standing by, up, I'm gonna take this slowly dying mushroom and I'm gonna shove it down the hole.
Okay.
Just like throw it down there.
Adib and Shimmy make nature checks now that Adib's had a minute to analyze it from a distance, and Shimmy has actually interacted with it. Shimmy, you suspect some sort of insectoid nesting presence.
Since I was going to say, since I'm within 10 feet of the first of these holes, am I perceiving anything with my blind sight?
There are small segmented bodies with 8 legs swarming around a set of interconnected tunnels. It's at this point that you notice the webbing hanging from the north and at the end of the hallway. As they begin to emerge from the ground. Roll initiative!
Okay.
You still have your wall of fire?
Yeah, I was gonna look back and say wall of fire, wall of fire.
And I'm just gonna sit there and hum the tune that I just played.
Hey, by the way, Eric, you have Gift of Alacrity, so make sure to add 1d8 to your initiative.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I got a natty 1 on my initiative.
Oops, hit the wrong button. I accidentally kicked myself out.
Alrighty, let's see.
21 for me.
27 for me.
Jesus.
I got pie.
Oh my god, you did! Yay!
I rolled
That should get
2.
some points.
Viroth, you actually beat them by 1 point of dexterity because you tied at a 3. Which, by the way, for anyone who has not set their settings, their options to include tiebreaker on their initiative, I encourage you do so.
Is mine set up like that? Is that why I've got decimals?
Yeah, that's what the decimals
Correct.
are. It'll give you your roll and then decimal whatever your dexterity score is to give you rank choice advantage if you tie with something with lesser dexterity. Alright, Adib! They begin filtering out of the holes, forming a swarm along the ground, but they haven't been able to spread very far at this point.
Just as a reminder, I can move through my party member, but I can't occupy the same spot as them, or occupy or move through a space that has an enemy. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
With the swarm, I would say it's a bit different, but you will be provoking attacks of opportunity.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and hit this individual with Firebolt.
Pew pew.
So roll that.
Nine fire damage as about half the swarm burns away.
Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead What is this purple thing behind me? Is that the mushroom?
Yeah, that's a mark to show that that mushroom has been cleared by Shimmy, and that square is now clear.
Okay. Then I'm going to move back 5 feet and then call it my turn.
Okay. Brings us to old Shim Shim, wielding his bow. What would you like to do?
I'm panicking, so I'm getting attacked by creatures in the Shadowfell again. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to unsheath my rapier, but I'm not going to let it go. And I'm going to make an attack with that. Just you hear whack, and my rapier is just I smack it across the ground, and you hear scraping. I just scrape it across.
All right.
I'm trying to get all these little bastards, whatever the hell they like, little spiders. Yep. Don't want to figure out what that venom's all about.
So
or
you'll
poison,
have
depending on what they do.
your bow in your right hand and your rapier as an offhand weapon, so you can still attack like normal with it. You just won't get your bonus on the damage.
Okay.
.26, definitely a hit.
There's no sneak. I don't know how to turn that off.
That's okay. 1 damage.
And then I'm going to do bonus action dodge.
Okay.
I'm going to be hopping up and down real quick, bouncing off the walls that only some feline things start to do. But that's it. I don't want to go back and have the swarm invade the room behind me, but I'll do my best.
Alandir, your turn. That purple rock in between Adib and Alandir is a column, just to let you know. So for the purposes of moving, you have to go around that intersection.
This?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's floor to ceiling.
So I can't... Can I go here?
Go ahead and draw with the little pointer tool for me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I mean, I can just move into this space, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do that so I can get a better look. You said there are little holes they're crawling out of?
Yes, the first one's plugged with one of those orange mushrooms, and that is about 2 rings out of the 4-ring process.
Is that this one?
Yeah, the swarm of spiders is covering it up.
Oh. Ew. Okay. Ew. Well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and break out my lyre again, and, Oh no, well I don't want to burn Shim, never mind. I don't want to... I do want to break out my lyre, but I'm gonna, play a rock-themed, melody. I'm gonna rock and roll all night. Cast Stone Shape, and then I want to just create a wall between the swarm and us. A 5-foot wall.
Okay. Go ahead and throw the spell up in VTT for us.
Oh, sorry, I thought I did. There we go.
There it is. So, given the description of the spell, how would you like to use it?
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and just open up the floor beneath the beneath the swarm so that they fall down. Make the hole wider underneath.
You squeeze by Shimmy as he's bouncing around, touch the ground, and then back to your space. Are you closing the holes or opening them?
Oh, I was hoping to, like, close them to stop them from...
Alright, you're able to catch some of the spiders in that second hole. Let's call it a D8 damage, so go ahead and roll a D8. Some of them will still be above, but... So you move into Shimmy's space in order to be able to get within a range of touch. Close one of the holes that the mushroom isn't already taking up. And then you can roll a D8 and roll 20 there on the left-hand side. It's the little dice-looking menu. Go. Squish. Alright. Ah! Alright. Okay, any bonus action?
No. No. Well, yeah, actually. Did that count as an attack then? Since I took damage?
That would be your action, yeah.
Yeah.
So you
okay. No, no bonus action. Thanks.
Okay. Viroth, your turn.
Oh, this is really tight quarters. I don't know what good I'm gonna be here. Guess I'll start by at least coming into the room, avoiding this mushroom over here on the left. Did that mushroom look like it was gonna be ready to explode again soon? The big one?
It'll probably finish up by the end of your round. And that one didn't require touch like the smaller one.
Cool. Could I pick it up and throw it onto the spiders like a grenade?
You can try.
Let's do that. Why not?
Oh my
Roll
gosh.
an athletics check as you grab it with both hands and try and rip it out.
Boom
of the
goes the
ground.
dynamite.
And that dice came so quickly out the corner of the screen. I've never seen it do that before. But that would be a 21 athletics.
Okay. It gives quite a bit of resistance, but you're able to rip it out of the network of its mycelial little roots that spread out beneath the hole that you leave in the ground. Go ahead and roll a dexterity-based attack. So you can just roll your dex ability and add your proficiency bonus manually. Just tell us what it is out loud.
Okay,
No,
so
it's not going to be proficient. Just roll a dex
Dex
check.
is-
Yeah, just roll a straight up dex check.
5. Sorry to everyone. Just to everyone.
That's fine.
I'm gonna...
D&D. I love D&D.
I'm gonna say you smack it into the wall right here, in between you and Shimmy, and it explodes. So, Alandir, Shimmy, and Viroth all make dex saving throws. Viroth, yours is at disadvantage, since you are holding on to the exploding object. Alandir, you're successful. Shimmy and Viroth, you are not. It wasn't fully grown, so it's only going to be 2d6. Does
I might
dodge...
have a thing for this if I miss.
Yeah, I think dodge is just disadvantage on attacks. It's not advantage on dex, is it?
Correct.
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't think so.
So...
But I think I have a... Oh, maybe not.
Alandir, you'll only take 3 fire damage. Viroth, you'll take 6. And Shimmy, any class features to kick in?
Yeah, evasion.
Ooh, so you only take half damage anyway. That's a 3.
And I think I can use that at pretty much... yeah.
So it moves it from half and full damage to no and half damage on a success and a failure, respectively. And that mushroom is utterly destroyed. It is not growing back.
Yeah, that'll be it from me.
No bonus action?
No, I could do a reaction, but I think that this is a small enough enemy. I'm not going to worry about it.
Gotcha. Okay. Back to the swarm of spiders. The first one's gonna move up and
I'm wiggling.
wiggling. I got a 10 to hit. That's gonna be a miss. The second swarm kind of moves in, like swarming over the other group of spiders to bite at you, but then has to recede in order to, respect the rules of occupancy. When they recede, go ahead and take a swipe with your rapier. They also miss.
I'm glad it didn't become some mega Shadowfell swarm. Yeah, I'll make an attack. Dancing rapier. Come on, princess, make an attack.
28's gonna hit. Go ahead and roll raw damage, which is what, D6?
It's gonna be a D8.
A D8.
D13 piercing.
So 8 piercing since it's in your offhand. Alright. Squish a bunch of the little buggers before we move back to a D. Something more exciting. Music-wise. That's not exciting, that's relaxing. Anyway, a D.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit this little crowd with Firebolt again.
Righty, roll the hit. Is going to hit for 8 fire damage, burning the rest of them away.
And then I think I'm just going to stay where I am and then call that my turn.
Alright, that'll bring us back to Shimshin.
I will finally let Princess go, and I'll toss her up into the air, and she'll make a bonus action strike against the swarm.
Gotcha.
I'm just going and cause havoc. Let's see here. Dancing rapier. And then I am going to, at the same time, as the swarm gets burned away in front of me, I'm going to draw an arrow, knock it, and shoot it at the swarm 10 feet away from me. It's a 13 hit.
13 will hit.
Okay, dancing rapier. Gee, sneak attack away. Do 12 piercing, maybe skewer some of those Spideys down there, and my arrow 24 is definitely gonna hit, and the arrow's gonna leave a little spark as it clinks off the stone with another 10 piercing.
Very nice.
And then I'm gonna try to throw my back against the wall to make it easier in case the other one wants to go forward and smash or whatever.
Alrighty, that'll bring us around to Alandir.
I'll go ahead and get my hands dirty as well. Uncharacteristic, I know, but I'm just gonna hop on over to these to the swarm and swipe at them with my short sword of wounding.
Okay. You'll have the lyre in your left hand, gripped loosely, and your short sword, I guess you draw to your right hand.
That's right.
20 to hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. Okay. 4, 6. Righty. Let's see if they can make that saving throw. Yeah. Green necrotic glow emits from some of the bodies after you smack them with your sword. You are occupying the space of the rapier, so for safety's sake, you'll have to either back up or take the squeeze action. Yeah. That'll bring us around... Oh, Elander, any bonus actions?
That's all.
Alright, Varoth.
I just don't even know what I can do. Everybody is in the way. That spot's empty though, right? And I can make it in front of Shimmy?
It's got the scimitar in it for right now, so you can't stay there, but you can move to it and back.
Okay, I will do that. And then... bonus action, I'm going to speak the command word for my sword, causing flames to erupt. And I'm going to use my flaming longsword to hit this in front of me here.
Woo-wee!
Whap.
As soon as it brightens up the quarter, you can hear "Ow" behind you. This would be bright.
There we go.
That's
There's
crit.
the 20
Woo.
that I needed.
There it is.
Oh, and there's also a +2 to that since I'm single wielding. Not that I need it.
There we go.
Single willing.
You've got 2 more squares of movement if you'd like to use them.
I don't see anything else in front of me. Is that the end of the spiders?
Yeah, the last of the spiders seem to have either made their way back down to the tunnels or are splattered all over the walls.
Cool. I'll just move forward then.
Okay. Alright, at the end of that round of combat, the mushroom that Shimmy had placed in that first hole finishes growing back. It would be in that
I'm gonna reach out and
one.
grab the sword.
Okay. How would the party like to proceed?
Can I take my dancing rapier, slice off some small mushrooms or make them activate, and then slice them off when they get small enough and then plug up these other holes? Drop it down there for it's small enough. When it gets down there deep enough, and when it expands, it plugs it up, and it's deep enough that we can walk over it and it won't explode.
You can try. Fuck around and find out.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna look back at two
Oh my gosh, let's just
distinguished
get out of
gentlemen behind me. Expect you guys want to fuck around and find out?
No,
Kieran
Shimmy.
is ready to continue on.
Yeah,
Sort
no,
of.
2
Shimmy,
votes
we don't
for
wanna- We don't want to. That's this.
I think we just want to keep moving forward, Shim Shim.
Okay, well, just
The spiders are gone, Shim.
I just hope we don't have to come back here being chased by a dragon. That's all.
I'll just continue on through the corridor then.
Okay, and What's the order here? Viroth first, and then everyone else is pretty satisfied?
I don't know how I ended up in back, but I'll deal with that.
You and me both. I don't care. It's whatever.
Oh, no, it's fine.
No, it's fine. I'm happy to.
I'll be distracted by drinking the healing potion anyway. Assuming we're not in turn order or something.
You'd be experimenting with the mushrooms if we left you in the back.
Alright.
Everyone said no, so Shim's not going to make everyone mad.
Viroth, as you round the corner, the tunnel opens wide into a large cavern, easily 60 feet across. There is a slow running stream on your right-hand side, a large chunk of that cold iron you had identified earlier on your left. A couple little sprigs of fern actually crop up here and there around the water itself. Towards the back of the cavern is a giant mass of flesh with a gaping maw ringed with teeth and multiple tentacles that end in pads full of spikes. I will have everyone roll initiative before we move any more tokens. And one of those tentacles is wrapped around a familiar-looking Eladrin of Winter. This creature is attached to the ceiling itself. Its flesh just seems to meld into the stone, and scattered about its feet are a series of bones. Directly beneath it is one that's equestrian in shape, and in the corner there at the top left is a simple menagerie, a pile of large bones. On your right, the small ravine pools together in that bottom right-hand corner, and you can see a step up on the right-hand side around this large column.
I got another nat 1 for initiative.
Deep got
But you got pie.
19. 2
My cherry pie.
Alright, let's see. I'll show you this creature proper.
The anchor of the party.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Viroth can actually see that from where he's at right now.
I think a Deeb at least can.
Has it noticed us?
Oh, it's facing your direction with its tentacle threateningly wrapped around her throat and roars as soon as you round the corner. It might have even been waiting for you.
Ah, crap.
I think I can see what happened to our 2 other party members. Num num.
Nom nom.
You think so?
You don't see any fresh meat around here. Alright, it seems like Elander, Deeb, and Shimmy are able to edge out whatever hideous aberrant monster this is by just a little bit, and that is actually where we will call it tonight and start at the top of the round next week in this creature's lair. Alright.
Oh yeah.
Alright, everybody, so tomorrow we have Rime of the Frost Maiden, where you can see ours truly, Phil, make his way in the world as a hobgoblin wizard. On Sundays, we have the Odysseys of Theros, where the rest of our party will join you, taking to the high seas in the best Greco-Roman traditions I can muster. And then Tuesday nights, our Rime of the Frostmaiden player, Adam, who also joins us on Sundays, is running Wild Beyond the Witchlight. We are heading into just some early sessions with him. They've been delightful so far. It's a very different take on D&D. We've had 0 combat in 3 sessions so far. So if you like something a little bit more RP and story-driven, also a menagerie of new players, come check us out on Tuesdays at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Deep breath, everybody. Before next week, this should be good and fun, and we will wave goodnight to the viewers.